The Northern staff, I find comfort. In the depths of despair, he lifts me up. I am because I am says I am. A sheep in his pasture. I am because I am says I am. In his presence I take my stand. Thou prepares a table before me, even in the presence of my enemy. Because I am says I am. In his presence I take my stand. Thou prepares a table before me, even in the presence of my enemy. Forever and ever and ever, I am because I am says I am. In his love I'll forever remain. I am who I am, his child, his name.
Hello, 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 everyone. This is Judy Ambrose James. Welcome to Generational Turnaround Podcast, where we speak the truth and then we bring you the proof. And the proof comes through my guests that's selected to come in here and tell you what it is. So today we're going to talk to returning guest Joliean Monnic Fields. And a lot has happened to Joliean since she was last here, but the most important part is she's newly releasing her new book, The Father Factor. And y'all know, just by that name, The Father Factor, we're talking, there's a lot of us who expect certain things from fathers. Those who have fathers, those who were raised in the house with their father, and those who fathers are no longer with us. Everybody had their own experience, but we know God started us with man. There was an order of the way the family started. So Joliean knows a lot about the father because she was, even in Clubhouse, she had a room and it was dedicated to the fathers. I'm going to let her tell you about it because I'm getting ready to bring her up and introduce her to you. Hold on, wait a minute. Hey, Joliean.
Greetings, Miss Judy.
Good greetings to you. I'm so excited to have you in here. Okay, you and I told everybody to know that you've been on the program, the podcast.
Hmm.
So, and but they don't know that you're also virtual granny on TikTok. I just
That's right.
had to throw that out. Yeah, we gotta let them know that.
That's
Uh,
one of the things that I'm really super proud about. I have a lot of other hats that I wear. I'm a mother, an author, a speaker, a journalist, award-winning journalist, actually.
mhm.
Um, I'm a health and wellness coach. I have a lot of hats, but one of the things that I'm most proud of is being the virtual granny on TikTok.
And why is that?
Well, I God has gifted me with a love for children. I have 5 children of my own. They're all adults now. I have grandchildren, but for some reason, I just have a heart for children. Let me go back a little bit. Uh, I actually have an intercessory assignment for children. I pray for children day and night. I pray for school buses. I pray for schoolyards. I pray for children at the bus stop, and whew, you name it. I get dreams about children. Um,
That's beautiful, Jolene. My goodness. And just think if everybody did that. Wow.
yeah,
Just think of the the security. That would be like a secured fortress that
yeah,
nobody could break through if
yes.
everybody did that. Well, Jolene,
One other thing
um,
I want to
okay,
say. That's
go
another
ahead.
that I feel called to introduce children to God and how to talk to Him and how to understand that He's their advocate and He's looking and listening, because a lot of times our children feel like life is so unfair because they're young, things happen to them, and nobody cares and nobody loves me and that type of thing. But I let children know that um, whether you have a father in the home or not, God is your heavenly father, and He is always looking out for you, even though you can't see Him.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that He's not there.
Mm, yes. And you know what? That because you do that, and I know that you do it every day, and even in the wee hours of the
Oh
morning, you
goodness.
wake up.
Yes, I get up sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning praying for children and fathers and family, and um yeah, some nights I don't even get to sleep really, because just so many different things are bombarding my spirit about children and family and the home life they're living and the situations and the circumstances that they're in. And you know um a lady called me the other day and we were talking, and she was saying how her daughter had just been having these crying spells because her daughter said she was afraid of dying and going to a bad place, because she's a little girl, so she didn't know, and she doesn't know about hell. But she said that she kept saying she was having these dreams. She was scared to go to sleep because she was having these dreams about dying and going to a bad place. And so, I gave her mom some scriptures and told her to walk her through some scriptures on fear and some scriptures on, the fact that God says He'll never leave us nor forsake us. Um, but also letting her know that, whew, you know, there's adults that are in fear right now.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that are going on in the news, and the wars and rumors of famine, rumors of the internet going down, and rumors of being in darkness, and aliens coming and all kinds of crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's not just the children that are afraid, but a lot of the children are even more fearful than the adults because they don't have anyone. Um, in the old days, our parents read us Bible stories or
Mm-hmm.
taught us how to pray, or they talked to us about God being our heavenly father and Jesus our brother and watching over us as we go to and from. But we don't have that foundation in our homes anymore.
Well, I noticed that you kind of laughed when you said aliens, but I, I just had this conversation with someone who said, well, if God put us on this planet, what makes us think have, that we're the only ones? What make us believe that he decided to fill Earth with people, but just didn't do anything to all the other planets? What makes us so sure of that?
Well, um, I'm just going to say this, that there are natural and supernatural beings in this earth, on this earth, and outside of this earth.
Mhm.
What we choose to call them, some will call them fallen angels, some will call them aliens, some will call them demons.
Mhm.
There are other entities that uh, have been here before us,
Mhm.
um, who are amongst us now, and those who are to come.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Right.
to a certain degree, they are correct that there are other, it
Because aliens just means unknown, right?
basically.
Basically. So, but when you hear it, you're thinking about little green men with big heads and uh, terrible looking bodies.
That very may be what they look like. We don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But there's so many planets. And I,
yeah.
for me, I'm wondering why all these planets and we're the only one that we've seen is Earth.
Well, we're the only ones that we know of.
Yes.
The government and NASA and all these other agencies,
Hmm.
they have the power with technology to see and know what's going on in other atmospheres and other planets and things like that.
But
It's just
only so
a lot,
far, right?
right.
They've, o-
Just,
they've only, yeah. Okay.
it's just a lot of the information that we get is limited by our news media. They tell us what they want us to know. So there
Mm-hmm.
may have been aliens here all along, but
Mm-hmm.
um, they don't want to alarm us and send us into
The
panic
fantasy,
and things like
panic.
that. So they're very careful about what they release to us in the news or on the in the paper or um, even over social media. So,
But this is what I believe about children. They have an insight that ours has been put down, like as you say, ours has been controlled,
mhm,
whereas theirs has not been controlled yet.
right.
Yeah. But okay, I know this is not what we're here to talk about, but it was so interesting when you brought it up.
Yeah.
Jolene, you you are an award-winning journalist.
Yes. I
Take us back to when you were in that position.
okay. Well, I'm a two-time award-winning journalist. I have a journalism award from the New Mexico Press Association, as well as an award from the William Randolph Hearst um, Association. And I achieved both of those my senior year in college. Was a journalist in New Mexico. I actually was a stringer as well. A stringer is a person who goes out and does news stories and comes back and reports them for national news. So I worked for National Native News as a stringer, which is a news show on NPR, and NPR stands for National Public Radio. So I had the opportunity to kind of get out there and get in the mix and do some things. One of the things I'm uh, kind of proud of as a journalist was not only those two awards, but during the time I was working as a journalist for NPR, I got a chance to interview Jesse Jackson. And at the time, Jesse Jackson was a big deal because he was making so many strides for minorities and Native Americans and African Americans in the minority community. And so that was indeed a pleasure. So yes, I enjoyed those years while I had them.
Yeah. And like you said, while you had them. So, Jillian, what happened that you say while I had them?
Because I was uh, gainfully employed as a journalist, um, doing not only radio but television, as well as doing some commercials and things like that, where I was the voice talent for different commercials. And then I guess it seemed like out of nowhere, but it seemed like out of nowhere, I was diagnosed with diabetes. And initially, I blew it off, just kind of like, oh, okay, well, you know, that's something that other people get. But I was borderline for a while. Um, but I didn't think that it was that serious because I was a holistic eater. And what I mean by that is like I ate mostly all natural foods. I shopped at Whole Foods and things like that. I would go out walking and jogging the first of every morning before I went to the radio station or before I went to work, and would spend a lot of my lunch hour with salads and shakes and things like that. And so when they told me that I was borderline diabetic, I was like, okay, well, I can shake this. And, it got to a point where the diabetes actually overtook me. And that's the point where I'm at now. Now I am legally blind because of diabetes. Um, I just got back today from the nephrologist, and they told me that I need to start dialysis. I'll probably be starting dialysis maybe Wednesday or Friday of next week. And all of that is because the diabetes has attacked both my eyes and my kidneys. And so um, now I'm not able to work, or at least not able to go out in the field and do the journalistic work that I was doing before. And I think that's what really excites me about Virtual Granny, because even though um, I'm not able to do the journalistic work that I used to do, I'm still able to get on TikTok and talk to the children, teach, and inform them of things. And that's basically what I was doing when I was a journalist. I wasn't on TikTok, but I was on either radio or TV, and I was talking to people and giving them information and sharing information that would help empower their lives.
Thank you, Julianne, for letting people know that it can happen. I knew a lot of people who have diabetes and they can't see themselves ever being blind or,
And
or,
I couldn't either at the time. And I tell people, and I'm glad we're talking about this because I was thinking about that. I said, my next book may be on diabetes,
mm,
because we as African Americans, we're hit more severely as a culture with diabetes and renal failure and things like that more than any other culture. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, we play with diabetes, but diabetes is serious about us.
yeah,
I've lost just about every family member that I've lost has been lost due to complications with diabetes or renal failure. And I never expected to be here. And when you get diagnosed with diabetes, that's one of the things the doctors tell you, that you have to control it, and you have to stay on your medications, or it can attack your vision and your organs. And in my case, the sugar has detached both of my retinas, as well as shut down my kidneys. My kidneys right now are operating at 7% out of 100.
Oh my God.
And just the fact that I'm still here and hasn't haven't gone toxic, or the fact that I haven't been on dialysis last year or the year before, is nothing but the grace of God.
Mm,
And so
my
I
God.
have to give him all the glory, honor, and praise. And even the fact that I still have light in my eyes. My vision is very low. However, every day that I wake up and I still have some sight, I give
Yes.
the glory, the honor, and the praise, because
Yes.
I'm seeing through detached retinas. Who does that?
Hmm.
Nobody but a God.
Nobody. Nobody. And the name of this show is Generational Turnaround. And from a health, fitness, and all that, we need a generational turnaround to the eating the fruits, the vegetables, to get
Absolutely.
them away from the fast food.
Absolutely. A lot of our children, even my own grandchildren, and I just cringe sometimes. Um, when I had them, I was giving them nourishing meals. Um, and our parents, I get it. Our parents are busy and they don't have time to cook a 6 hour gumbo, or a 3 hour pot of beans and stuff like that. I get it. But giving our children chips and soda and candy and ramen noodles. I have grandchildren that are 8 and 9 years old, and they can uh, fix their own ramen noodles. They don't even need you to tell them what to do. They just know what to do for their
And
ramen.
the sodium in that a pack of Roman noodles,
Hmm.
it
Plus,
it
it turns to complete sugar.
but it's fast. It get the job done. And
Hmm.
then they go on with whatever it is that they have to do. And that leaves the parents able to continue whatever they need to do, but not, they don't think about the long term.
Right. Yeah, so you're right. We do need our generation to turn around when it comes to how we feed our children, how we're eating, even ourselves, how we
Mm-hmm.
take care of ourselves, and just how we're heading the family um, in general.
And you, Joanne, now all that you have been through and still praising God and helping the children, you still had time to write a book about the father factor. Tell us what that book is about.
Okay, like you say, my book is called The Father Factor, and it was something that God gave me about 3 years ago. This December, I lost one of my children, one of my sons. He was, I think, 28 at the time when he was killed in a tragic accident, and he left behind uh, three biological children and two stepchildren. And God just showed me the importance of our fathers in our children's lives, not only through my son's death, but also reminding me, because I was not raised with my father. And I did have a stepfather, but he was a little questionable, like many stepfathers are. However, some men do step in and do an excellent job, and I thank God for that. But
Mhm.
God wanted me to just really impress upon, first and foremost, upon our men, and then secondly, upon our families, that our men are heads of the family because that's where God placed them. Now, I know today many of our children live in not only what's called fatherless homes, but a fatherless generation where they don't have a man nowhere in their generation. They may not have a father, they don't have access to a grandfather, a uncle, or even a friend of the family, because of just the way that the enemy has set things up to where women are on this ego trip, as black women. Well, I don't need a man, I don't want a man, I can do good or bad all by myself. And to a certain degree, yes, that is true. But I tell our men, I need you, I want you, you're vital and necessary, not only to my life, but to the life of the children that you've brought into the world. And I think that needs to be the message overall. And one of the messages that God gave me, um, not only in this book, but in to share with the men in the community, is that He has placed them as the head, and that's who He expects for them to be. And not only that, but He wants them to get up, step up, gird up, and stand up and take their rightful place in the home, in the relationship, and in the lives of our children. And that's basically what the father factor is about. It talks about the importance of fathers in the home, both from a physical standpoint as well as from a spiritual standpoint. Because I do have half of the book, I think it, or at least a chapter or two, talks about just even God as Father, and the the way God used fathers in uh, antiquity. That many of the fathers in the Bible, they weren't perfect, but despite their frailties, or despite their faults, God was able to use them to, in many cases, save a nation.
Yeah.
And that's how our generation is going to turn around, is with us getting our men back in place in our homes, in our lives, in our children's lives, and just in the place that God has brought them to, um, in our culture overall.
And I agree with you. And you, I hold on. I dropped my copy of the Father Factor. Excuse me, everyone. Okay, I'm back. This, okay, trying to make sure that you all see it well. It's a beautiful copy of the Father Factor. And Joliean, as she told you, she was a journalist. This book is well written, and it is also she goes to the point of the matter. She reaches in this book and she discusses from her own experience without a father to, well, believe me, it's in this book and you will be able to resonate with this. So please, go into a lot. she did to write this. And she did write it. Yes, she did. These are her words, nobody else's. So, will you please, Jillian, how can they purchase this from you?
Okay. Well, if they would like a signed copy, they can email me at fieldsofwellness@outlook.com. And I can give them I can also give them my Cash App. My Cash App is $ Joliean F, and that's JOLIEAN, the letter F at the end. And let me know how many copies of the book they'd like to have signed and sent out to them. And I'll be more than happy to send them out several books or a signed copy of the book. Or they can go on Amazon and purchase both the actual book itself as well as an ebook as a gift or something to someone.
And speaking on that, we are we're gonna get Joliean bestseller in it's at Amazon. Everybody knows you get bestseller by you going and you ordering. You get no, you don't order it because you get it right away. A ebook, and we need you on Saturday to go to Amazon and get you an ebook that's $2.99 and help this book become number one bestseller. The Father Factor. Believe me, there's something in here. Look, I read it and it brought me back to I was raised by my grandfather. Back I'm 68 now. So that tells you in the 60s, in the 50s, where we didn't have to worry about whether we're gonna eat vegetables and fruits, and that was it. That's what you had at your table. That's what you had. And if you was lucky enough to get a piece of meat, okay, a chicken leg, okay. And then on Sundays, you might got a special a meal because it was Sunday. But now I am so, I'm glad that I lived that time. And I'm trying to see, we need to turn around to that time. Now, Joliean, thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful book and the words that are in it. And thank you for coming on this show today. We enjoyed you and your knowledge as a journalist that is still, we can still hear that journalist. We hear it in your voice and what you're talking about. So I pray that today was better than yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow.
Mm.
I pray that tomorrow will bring forth for you, Joliean, a double a double helping of blessings in the form of opportunity to live, love, and go do your mandate. That's what I pray for you and everybody within listening range. We love you. We thank you. And good night. We'll see you Saturday. Don't forget, write it on your calendar. Start Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and you start to go over to Amazon, The Father Factor by Joliean Monnic Fields. thank you. We're thanking you in advance. Right, Joliean?
Yes, thank you so much.
Cute. All right. Hold on. Wait a minute. And these. Hold on, everybody. Y'all know how I do it.
I am because I am says I am. In the valley of shadows I'll stand. Fearless I walk through the night, with faith as my guiding light. I am because I am says I am. In his presence I take my stand. Thou prepares a table